talk about a Love After Lockup cast member that was arrested this past summer. And it's a cast member that you guys probably wouldn't initially suspect. So I do want to give a big shout out to Lord Lucan, who's a friend of the channel. He actually is the one that sent me this tea, and he made a video on this. So check that out if you guys are interested. But he revealed that Justine's mom, Sherry, she is a registered nurse in the state of Rhode Island, and she ended up getting her license to be a nurse suspended after she was arrested for driving under the influence and drinking on the job. This is the Rhode Island government website, which shares that there is a matter of the state of Rhode Island Department of Health where they explain that Sherry McCaffrey is a licensed registered nurse, and their license is currently active, and they believe that her license should be suspended because they believe that Sherry right now is a danger to the public. And they say that they have evidence of Sherry engaging in unprofessional conduct by being under the influence of alcohol and impaired during a shift at a nursing home. So it explains that after they went through all the evidence, they decided to suspend the license of Sherry until a final decision is issued by the Board of Nurse Registration and Nursing Education after hearing. So this here explains exactly what happened. It reveals on June 26th of 2025, so what, not even a few months ago, Sherry was working at a nursing facility as an agency nurse on the 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift. During this shift, her colleagues noted that she kept going outside of her car for long periods of time. They kept needing her on her shift, and when they would look around for her for help, they could not find her anywhere in her assigned unit. So on June 26th, Sherry did not complete numerous responsibilities for patients, including administration of medication and documentation of treatments. And I mean, when you're in a nursing facility, you know, in your final days, medication is pretty important. I wouldn't want to be on my deathbed dying and not being able to numb the pain because Sherry had too much to drink that night. And it goes on to say that Sherry was slurring her words as the shift progressed, and she smelled of alcohol upon her return from her break in her car. And Sherry was relieved of her nursing duties due to suspected intoxication and escorted out the door. The respondent, Sherry, left the premises driving their vehicle. They shouldn't even let her leave driving her vehicle, but I guess they really don't have much control over the situation. But it says at approximately 9:38 p.m. So she worked a full shift because her shift started at 3 and ended at 11. She was damn near there the whole day. She leaves, and not long after, she gets pulled over, and they ended up noticing that she was driving at a low rate of speed, and she kept crossing over the fog line and the double yellow line. So they're like, okay, something's going on. And they pulled her over, and they noticed that she had slurred speech, she had mildly bloodshot eyes, and she had a faint smell of alcohol that was coming from her breath. The police shined his flashlight inside her vehicle and noticed multiple open containers, and there is a bottle of wine that hadn't been opened in the front seat that looked like she was just ready to pop open at any given time. And the officer decided to perform a standardized field sobriety test and opined that the respondent was unfit to operate a motor vehicle in a safe manner. The respondent was placed under arrest for suspicion of DUI, and they received a summons for refusal to submit to a chemical test, a lane roadway violation, and operating below minimum speed. Registered nurses bear primary responsibility for the nursing care that their patients receive and are accountable for their own practice. Registered nurses must demonstrate professional accountability and are responsible for nursing practice. Registered nurses must convey accurate information. They must ensure that their nursing practice is safe. They must protect the patient, the public, and the profession from potential harm when practice appears to be impaired, registered nurses have a duty to take care of their own health and safety, and registered nurses must communicate effectively in all areas of practice. This lists the ethics for nurses and all the different counts and pretty much why they believe she broke these different codes and why she deserves to have her license suspended, which is what ended up happening. When I first heard about this, I'm like, okay, maybe like she works early morning and maybe she went out and had a few drinks the night before, went to bed for a few hours, woke up, there's still a little bit in her system. But this woman works from 3 to 11, so she was literally day drinking on the job and likely drinking beforehand. I mean, we don't know that for sure. I hope that this was just like a one-time deal and this isn't something like where she has to have it every single day and that's why she had to drink while she was on the job. And she ended up being found guilty of refusing to submit to a chemical test according to sarcasm, and she was sentenced to 10 hours of community service, and her driver's license was suspended for 30 days, and she was required to use an ignition interlock system, which I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming that's kind of like what Daniel had, where you had to like blow in the little breathalyzer thing before your engine starts. Her 2 other traffic citations were dismissed, and I was wondering like if Justine has heard about this, but I'm sure she has because this was on the local Rhode Island news and in the newspaper. Like, this was a big story, and I'm shocked that this is the first time that I've heard about this from Lord Lucan. I'm sure she's going through it, trying to figure out what to do now after losing her nursing license after doing that her whole life. I'm sure like she probably feels like her whole identity was probably ripped away from her. She always tried to tell Justine, oh, get back into nursing again, that's what I do, I'm happy, I'm successful. But now she's going to have to figure something else out because I don't think she's ready to retire yet at 59. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.